This new feature that eBay has implemented is a game changer, in my opinion, for most sellers out there. So let's get to it without any further ado. Let's go. Welcome back to the channel. This is John from Flip It Ain't Easy, and in today's video, I want to talk to you about something that I feel is absolutely a huge benefit, a big deal for most eBay resellers. Now, I say most eBay resellers because there's many of you out there that are fairly new, so this isn't really going to affect you so much right now, but you're going to be happy later on down the road that this is a thing. For many of us sellers, for the longest time, we've been sort of relegated to the fact that we are only going to be able to see the last 90 days. So any orders, as far as going back to like maybe find an order, maybe find a tracking number, maybe we found another item that's exactly like the one we sold like 5 months ago. These are all things that will benefit most resellers over time. Now, it's also a benefit as we get closer to tax season, to see, what the breakdown is. Of course, eBay is going to send you the invoices. Every month they send you an invoice, they send you your 1099, they send you all that stuff. And this is not a tax video, but if you want to go back in and maybe let's say you started a spreadsheet like halfway through this year and you just didn't have the data to go back at the beginning of the year, you can actually do that just to be able to maybe see how your business is operating to, maybe as compared to last year. You can go back as far as 2 years or any range of dates. So if you head on over to your Seller Hub, okay, on the PC or Mac, you will find when you go to orders, when you click on the orders tab and go to your orders, you should see it says something to the effect of new increased access to your order history. You can now view orders for the past 2 years versus just the past 90 days, giving you access to additional data to complete important tasks. So kudos to eBay for doing this for us. In my opinion, it's something that should have been done a long time ago because, Terapeak has had access to this information for quite some time, and it should never have been a secret to us for those of us who maybe wanted to go back to find that item that we listed 6 months ago. So let's head on over to my computer. I want to show you how I just briefly used it to just check my performance from this year versus last year during the same time frame, just to give myself an idea of how my business is doing over that period of time. Such a powerful feature, I think, and I want to show you exactly how this thing works. So here's something that I wanted to show you. It's something that I spoke to briefly about at the end of the live stream on Monday, and that is the ability to go beyond 90 days when you're looking at your previous orders. I think this is big because up until now we could go only as far back as 90 days. So let's say, for tax purposes or just research purposes, maybe you listed something at the beginning of the year and you ended up finding it again. Just being able to go back that far to find that item and then maybe do a relist or sell similar, I think is really huge. So for a number of purposes, listing purposes, and of course, maybe accounting purposes, this is an excellent thing. So now you can see that I'm here looking at last 90 days. If you drop down, you can see that you have today, yesterday, this week, this month, last month, this year, last year, and then custom. So you could click on this year and it'll take a minute to cycle through to see what you earned. You can go last year. It'll take a minute to sort of cycle through to see, what you earned. And of course it's doing its thing. Now this is my main account. Now, as you guys know, so I did 93,000 on this account. This is last year for the year of 2021. But this is huge. And so I did about 70% of my sales on this account and then like 30% on my secondary account, the one that I just kind of closed. So, but I go back and I'm looking at some of the items that I sold last year, and I think it's kind of good to have some perspective. And this is a good tool if you're slow with sales right now. You can go back. Let's say I want to look at a custom set of dates. So let's say I want to know how my Black Friday week, or let's say the last 10 days of November. So if I go back to November of 2021, and let's just say that we do the 20th of, that's December, I'm sorry. Let's say I go back and do the 20th of November, and I want to go through the end of that month. And I don't know why it's not letting me. Maybe it's only letting me do 2 week. So that's fine. I'll go through the second of, so the 20th through the 2nd of December. And I can see that for that 2 week period, I made like $3,600. Okay. And if I want to go back in and say, okay, so $3,600 is what I made that period. And then I want to go back in and just get an idea over the same time frame. So November 20th through, I'm gonna have to go back. It's not letting me, it's making me put a different date here. So bear with me a second. I'm just learning this process. Unfortunately, it's not allowing me to put it in manually. So that's sort of what slows us down, but at least it's an available process. So I've got the 20th of November, and then I want to go through, let's say, the 2nd of December, okay, and compare apples to apples, right? The same range of dates, roughly a 2 week period. So if I was at 3,600, I'm only at 2,400. So my sales are down by about 33% as compared to last year. And, I've got 87 sales this year, and just kind of wondering, because my thought process is that I've been dealing with a lower than usual or lower than normal average sale price. So I'm curious, if I go back to that time frame, 87 sales this year as compared to 102 sales. So I'm certainly down at least about 20%, roughly 15 to 20% in the volume of sales. And I'm down definitely by at least 33% based on the numbers that I've shown you here. So this is a powerful tool, and it's very easy to use. You're probably going to want to use the custom option here. And for me, it's going to be enlightening to see, as I dive into this, I want to look to see last year around this time, Q4, what kind of items did I sell? What was I successful at? And versus now what I'm trying to sell, and to see if there's any difference. I believe there is a big difference in the type of item that I'm selling as last year as compared to this year. But it's going to be enlightening, and I'm sure it's going to be enlightening to you, so you can actually see what the difference is for you. Maybe you're up from last year, but if you're down, I think it's really a good idea to see what happened last year as compared to this year. So that's a good starting point, and you can utilize really any range of dates. I just gave you just a random 2 week period, but I think it's really a good idea sometimes to take a look at our business, and you got to look at the past results to see what the future results mean. And for me, it means that my business is trending the wrong way. And just being honest with you guys, like I'm always honest with you on this channel. So that's what I have for you guys. Get out there, start using these tools. Thank you to eBay for providing this feature finally, because after 90 days, our stuff was just gone. And now that we have access to it, I think it is a game changer. So what do you think, guys? I want your comments down below. Let me know what you think about this feature. Now, again, it's a long time coming. I really think that eBay, because Terapeak has had this data for the longest time, eBay should have given us this option to go back a long time ago, I think. But of course, I can't do anything about that. All I can do now is be happy that eBay has provided us this feature. And if you wanted, like I said, if you wanted to go in and do some research on your performance this year versus last year, maybe a specific month versus another month, just to see how your business was doing. Maybe it's a good idea to see, well, you know what, I've sold this kind of item over this period of time, and how did I do selling that same type of item last year? And it should help you kind of determine, maybe for sourcing, if this is a kind of item that I maybe want to get into again next year or stay away from. So many things. There's so many uses for this, and I'm going to be using this more now than ever. So do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Of course, hit the notification bell so when I go live or make another video like this, you're going to be one of the first people to know about it. Every so often, eBay will give us sellers a useful feature, sometimes not, but in this case, I think it's a very useful feature to be able to go back beyond 90 days and to do all that homework. And I think it's essential for each and every business owner to go back and understand their stats and understand it much more than just the last 90 days. And I got to tell you, this is just yet another example of how sometimes when we deal with these new features, sometimes flipping ain't easy. And I want you guys to have an excellent rest of your day, and we will talk to you very soon.